I've been gifted an insane amount of books over the festive season, so let's do a book haul. Now, of course, I haven't read all of these just yet, but I will be leaving a link to these books down below in the description so you can have a look for yourself. Now, let's start with the money shot, shall we? Let's start these beautiful Penguin Clothbound classics. In case you're not familiar with these, the Penguin Clothbound classics are a series of deluxe editions of all of these classic works. I think there is about 100 now, and I started collecting these about a year ago. Now, all of these have a beautiful cloth-bound cover, a minimalistic classic design, and then there is this placeholder ribbon. They all come in a different kind of colors, from a muted blue to a very in-your-face high-vis yellow, and I absolutely love these. So over Christmas I added 10 of these gorgeous volumes to my collection. There's 1984, there's Ulysses, there's Jules Verne, there's the Iliad, you name it, I got them. And my favorite one is possibly this one, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne, with these like passport stamps all over the cover, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now I've read all of these already. I have another paperback copy somewhere in my closet, but these are shelf candy. I never buy these for myself really, because I buy books for reading, but I get gifted these ever so often, and my ambition is to one day own all of the Penguin Clothbound classics. Now, while not a Penguin Clothbound classic, this Puffin Clothbound classic is equally beautiful. This gorgeous edition of The Secret Garden by Frances Burnett was given to me by my Secret Santa in our book club. This one was sent to me by my own Secret Santa, Bo. Now again, I'm absolutely in love with this edition. I mean, look at it. So, once more, if you're watching this, thank you, Bo. And then we're off in no particular order with all of the paperbacks and more day-to-day books. And the first one is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. Now, I know little about this one, but it is highly recommended to me. And it is a bit of a murder mystery, but one that is out of the ordinary. As I understand it, the main character, the detective in this book, is a 15-year-old boy who has the Asperger's syndrome, which makes him very good at mathematics and seeing patterns, and it gives him this unique view upon the world. Now, he never really ventures outside, he doesn't like the outside, but when the neighbor's dog is gruesomely murdered, he's on the case. So I'm told this is really entertaining, this is really something else, and I'm highly looking forward to reading this one. So yeah, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Let's have a look at this one, The Dead of Winter. It is a collection of short stories, murder, mystery and horror stories by very famous authors. There is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in there is Ruth Rendell, so it is a mix of mystery horror stories. This is the kind of book for an afternoon with a cup of tea, cup of coffee, you know, have a cozy spot and just have a read, I guess. We'll see. Then we have the book with possibly the most beautiful cover. It is Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lin. Now, I don't know much about this one. As far as I know is what the back of the book tells me. It is a breathtaking tale with a stunning magic system rooted deep in Chinese mythology and tea-making traditions. Love and magic overflow past the brim in this work of beauty. Now, I'm in love with the cover alone already. I think this gives me YA vibes. This might be a romantasy, don't know just yet, but I'll let you know once I finish it. So yeah, let's have another good look at this absolutely stunning cover of A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Lin. Now the next one is considered to be a bit more highbrow literature, I guess, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. This is a Dutch version of one of the novellas, I guess, by John Fosse, the Nobel Prize winner for literature of last year. And I must say the text on the back of this one absolutely intrigues me. So let me translate it for you. A man gets stuck with his car on a muddy path. It's starting to snow, it is dark and cold, but instead of getting help, he just walks into the woods. Even if it's already so dark that he can hardly see anything. And yes, he knows he's a fool to do so. And in the dark, the silhouette of something that appears to be human starts to appear. An illuminated silhouette that gets clearer and clearer. Now, I did some research on John Fosse after he won the Nobel Prize, and I must say I'm intrigued. I've never read anything by him so far, so this seems to be a good start as any. The original title is Quid Lake, which I probably pronounced wrong, but there we have it. John Fosse. And then we have Bunny by Mona Awad. And I haven't read this one, but I heard ever so much about it. I'm told this is the unhinged love child of The Secret History and series like Mean Girls. So yeah, I'm finally going to read this one. I've been looking forward to it for a long time now. So you will probably see this one resurfacing sometime when I actually review it, because yeah, I'm told this book is quite good. Then we have another murder mystery. It is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, the second installment in the Finlay Donovan series by El Cosimano. Now, if you don't know these series, this is a modern and funny take on the classic murder mystery. The main character, Finlay Donovan, is a crime writer. She's not doing ever so well. She's recently divorced. She's juggling with trying to meet her deadlines and raise a child and things like that, until one day she's accidentally mistaken for a hired killer and she finds herself in a bit of a pickle. This is one of those books that are very easy to read. They read very quick, they are very entertaining, they are funny. I like them. And yes, these are an entire series. This is the second one. I'll just read this one, and if I like it, might see more of her in the future. And then we have a retelling. It is Jezebel by Megan Barnett, and this is a biblical retelling, I guess. This is the story of Jezebel, daughter of a king, but all of a sudden when she comes into power, she finds that a former lover is starting to badmouth her. He's starting to call her a harlot, a slut, a Jezebel, really. This is the feminist retelling of that story. It tells the story from her perspective and all of the things she has to go through and all of the things she has to do to just keep her grip on power. So yeah, I think this will be one of those books that are quite fierce. And I do love them. Very interested to see a retelling that is not Greek mythology, so yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this one. The next one is an award-winning book. It is Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. This book won the Booker Prize last year. It also won the Kerry Group Irish Novel of the Year award and is set in Ireland. The book basically asks the question, what would happen to Ireland when it was a totalitarian state? I'm told you can easily compare this book with books like The Handmaid's Tale, like George Orwell's 1984, things like that. This is a dystopian alternate history kind of book, and apparently it blew the jury of the Booker Prize away. So very, very interested to see this one. And then on a totally different note, we have the book that no one wanted to read by Richard Ayoade. Now, you might know Richard Ayoade from his acting career. I think he's best known for his role as Moss in the IT Crowd, but he's also a writer. And he writes with the same absurd, ridiculous kind of humor that you find in his series. And this book is no different. It is part book, part cartoon. It is heavily illustrated with these very silly, very absurd cartoons that I absolutely love. And I started reading this one just the other night. It is a book, or the story of a book told by a book. It is clever, it is witty, it is funny, and it is absolute silliness. And as you might know, I'm a champion for silliness. So yeah, the book that no one wanted to read turns out to be a book that I actually enjoy reading. And the last two books on this list today are special books. And the first one is this gorgeous, bright orangely sprayed-edged edition of A Stroke of the Pen by Sir Terry Pratchett. Now, you might know that I'm a huge Pratchett fan, but sadly Sir Terry Pratchett has left us already. He will not be writing any more stories. Now, famously, he even wrote in his will that he wanted his hard drive to be bulldozed over so no one could go in and finish his unfinished stories. So that was it, no more new Terry Pratchett stories. Until they found a legal loophole, of course, because these stories were already published. They were finished. These are stories he wrote as a very young author. Stories he wrote for science fiction and fantasy magazines. And when I was gifted this beautiful Forbidden Planet edition, I was both scared and happy. Happy to finally own all of his stories, but a bit scared because, you know, he wanted them bulldozed over for a reason. Now I must say I finished this one already in the meantime and I am very happy. Yes, these are not his best stories, but the spark of genius, the spark of Terry Pratchett of Discworld is already there. This is a young writer trying to find his voice, and when you know his work, when you already know the Discworld novels, at moments you can already see what he is about to become. I finally got my hands on this last book I missed. I now have all of Terry Pratchett's stories as far as we know and are published. And yeah, a stroke of the pen, if you're a Terry Pratchett fan, do give this one a try because I think you might be pleasantly surprised. The last one for today is a graphic novel and again a beautiful edition. It is The Cat That Taught Zen by James Norbury. Now you might know James Norbury from his Big Panda and Tiny Dragon series, but this is something totally new and in my opinion his best one to date. This is a beautifully illustrated story about a cat who hears about this mysterious solitary standing pine. When you sit under its branches you can hear the wisdom of the universe. So he sets out on a journey, and on this journey he meets all kinds of animals. An anxious monkey, a tiger with anger issues, a turtle that is sick of life, all kinds of animals with all kinds of stories and wisdom to share. Yet the most wise of them all is a rather unexpected surprise he meets on his journey. This is again one of those beautiful graphic novels we've been seeing in the last few years. I'm thinking The Boy, the Mole, The Fox and the Horse, I'm thinking Big Panda, Tiny Dragon, and I absolutely love these. I always call these self-help books for art lovers. They come with such beautiful messages and such beautiful illustrations that you absolutely have to have them sit on a table somewhere and just every time you sit down with your cup of tea, with your cup of coffee, just browse through them, flick through the pages and marvel at the beauty of these books. Now, that's all I'm going to say about this one because you might see this one again somewhere in the future in a certain cat-themed video that I'm planning. But until then, yeah, The Cat Who Taught Zen by James Norbury, absolutely stunning. And yeah, that's it. That's about 25 books I think that now make up my 2024 TBR. I think I will be going on a book buying ban for now because I really want to finish all of these books first. So yeah, you might see them resurface in future videos, but until then I want to hear from you. Have you read any of these and are they any good? Are there any books that you would absolutely love to read yourself? Let me know down below in the comments and we'll talk books some more. Now that was it for me for this week. Thank you for watching as always. And if you like this video, do give it a like, do give it a comment, because those are the things that actually help the channel grow. Now, if you don't know what to comment, why not comment a little gift? Because after all of these books were gifted and I feel ever so loved. Again, thank you for watching, and in the meantime, if you need some more bookish recommendations, you can always go here.